Welcome back to Everyday Iowa. Our next guest recently releasing his debut novel. There you see it right there on the table in front of us. Vicki Voland in the Goblins, Ghosts, and Ghouls. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome S.P. Witchell to the Everyday Iowa program. S.P., good morning to you, sir. Thanks for making the long drive. You told me you're very local.
Very local. Here all my life. Cedar Rapids, raised and born.
And now you're on TV9 talking about your book. First off, tell me a little bit about what goes into this, then we're going to dive into the pages of this. Take me through the journey.
Well, I started writing it in 2020, just as a lark. It wasn't a very serious thing. I joined a few writers groups, and by 2023, I saw that I probably had something I could possibly work with, and I might as well take it seriously.
And so that's just part of a 3-year journey right there. It's not like I wrote it and all of a sudden it happened overnight. This is a long-standing marathon almost.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of editing and revision, and if you start out writing, you'll figure out that the stuff you love to put in the book isn't always what's going to work. So a lot of it is taking out, they call it killing your darlings, which is, I wrote my favorite part. My favorite part was scrapped. All the people that read it were like, no, it's no good. So, and you've got to listen to people that
That's got to be a defeating feeling, too.
It is, but when the end product is there and you see it, and it's like, I feel like someone else could have written that. I think that's a good place to be. It feels like a very good, it's a good read, and people will enjoy it. That's not just me. It's made for the readers.
Tell me a little bit, how would you categorize? Would this be like horror? Would it be a witch story? How would you describe it?
It's a very light children's horror.
Okay.
Nothing outside of what you would have seen in Something Wicked This Way Comes, or The Witches by Roald Dahl, even the book, which was a little bit darker. It's nothing darker than that. It's just kind of a fun romp through like a Halloween vibe to it. And it's got a lot of classic folklore in there that I think kids will enjoy.
And that's my next question. This geared toward kids, but kind of who did you have in mind when you were putting this to paper?
I would think middle schoolers, 7th grade on up, and some high schoolers too. Okay. I think a lot of people will find there's nostalgia to it. Not just for the Halloween season, but just how the book reads. It's very easygoing. It's easy to pick up and put down. And my hope is that the ones that find it will enjoy it for not just the Halloween aesthetic for it, but everything that goes into it. There's a good message by the end of the book, and I think it's something that kids and adults actually both would benefit from having.
You know, as we look at the cover art here, not only on the book but on the set behind us, it feels familiar. It looks familiar. When we read this, are we going to get that sense of familiarity too?
I think so. I hope so. A lot went into that of researching some older books that I used to read and just revamping what I wanted to put in there, as for not nostalgia necessarily, but for that familiarity you're talking about.
Gotcha.
A lot of people will kind of relate to that old feeling of the season and
the old classic
childhood.
Halloween stuff we grew up with.
And just childhood in particular of having been stuck with responsibilities and growing up.
Now, one of the things that I know about young authors, and really more so young readers, is themes and series are huge.
Yes.
Is this going to be the beginning of a series, you hope? Or where do you see this down the road, years from now?
I'm hopeful. I think I can get 2 to 3 books in a series for this. It's a standalone as it is. It can be, but I've left it to where there's a door open that definitely there can be a series. And I think if people enjoy it, definitely they'd want more.
Sequels and prequels too. I mean, you could always do that, right?
Oh yeah, well, mostly sequels. There's not much for a prequel there.
It hasn't stopped Hollywood, you know.
No, it never does.
Now, the most important part, SP, is how can people get their hands on this and add it to their collection, their reading repertoire?
Well, you can actually go to any bookstore and order it through their online services. It's available in brick and mortar stores. You can go to Barnes & Noble or Amazon online and get it. I prefer that people get it from a brick and mortar store, because that's bookstores are the lifeblood of every author. It really is.
Well, and that's where you met Catherine too. That's how this all started. You all met in a brick and mortar, and now here you are.
Smaller independent bookstores. I'm not carrying one of those yet. We're just starting out. You know, it's going to be a little bit of a long journey for that. But you can also get it on ebook, through Kobo, Barnes & Noble, the Kindle Press. It's basically available everywhere, and you can even order it through local libraries.
Okay, gotcha.
I think they'll order it to their shelves if you want.
Gotcha. Any final things you want people to know about? Any plugs for small town authors, all that stuff? The remaining 30 seconds are yours, good sir.
I got a lot of help through actually just a lot of writers groups. I'd give a shout out to the man who helped me with my web design for my website. That's Ryan at Cedar Web Studios.
Okay.
He's been very helpful. The whole process has been very overwhelming, but I've had a lot of people help me out. So I think it's been a success.
And here it is right now. I mean, we're literally on TV talking about it. So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for making time for us. We'll put how you can get a copy of it on our website at kcrg.com.